Hi guys, it's me again, Rich from TrackSpark, and welcome to another tutorial. It's more of a tip of the day today, and it's a slight reiteration of one of Ian Fleming's mastering tips. It is about A-Bing your mix with reference tracks and making sure that you've got them all at the same level so that you're making a fair comparison, and you can check that your kick drums are working in the same way and your guitars are, or your synths or your bass, etc, etc. So here goes. Hope you all had a great Christmas as well, by the way. But let's get on with it. Now, the first thing to do is have a clear, when you're mixing your tune or producing your tune, then you should really have a clear sort of direction in mind of how you want it to, where you want it to go. And the best way to do that is obviously to have reference tracks. And I find having at least two, maybe three, is a good way to go. Then you can decide on how you want things to sound and where you want it to go. If you don't have a clear sort of indication of where you want to go, then you could be sort of going around forever, trying to make your drum sound better, or trying to this to sound different, make that set, and it's just a bit of an endless cycle, really. So have a clear sort of direction in mind. Now, then what we've got to do, I've got my two reference tracks here, which are Drone by the Fiddlers, which I'll play you quickly, and Parasite by Vance. And my track is obviously an indie tune. Now what we've got to do is get them at the similar level, so we can make a comparison on the main elements of each of the tracks and make sure they're working well. So I'm going to use this VU meter, which is from Ian Fleming's tutorial from one of our earlier packs, which is really good. If you've not seen it, check it out. But it just sort of tells us that the levels are the same. Now, if you don't want to use a VU meter, or then I'll quickly tell you another way of doing it. But let's get these quickly at the same level. So here is mine. Now that was hovering around the +1 to +2. So I've got to get the others at the same sort of level. Yeah, so here we go. Okay, so that was +1 +2. Same with that. So now what I can do is I know that they're at the same sort of level. I can now compare the main elements of my track to the reference tracks, and make sure that, for instance, the kick drum has got enough weight in it, or the guitars have enough presence on them, or and they're at the right sort of level compared to the reference tracks. So let's quickly just do that. I'm going to check out my drums and then compare them. Now I'm happy. I mean, I've done that really quickly because I'm rushing a little bit, but I'm happy that my kick drum has enough weight in it, and my snares coming through, and even things like my room sound on my drums are of similar ilk, and using the same sort of EQ, but making sure elements are coming through in the same way and comparing to those reference tracks. And once I've got my drums sorted, then I'll compare the bass, make sure the bass is full enough, and the guitars are as well. So let's just do that really quickly. so that is it. Now, if you don't want to use the VU meter, let's get rid of it, because I wasn't using it then anyway. Take one. I mean, I've done it like this for a long time without using the VU meter, but take one element of your mix and try and copy one of the reference tracks. So, for instance, the kick drum, make sure that it's fat enough, punchy enough, loud enough, and then from off the back of that, then you can compare your other main elements of your song. So the guitars, are they clear enough? Are they loud enough? Are they EQ'd correctly? And things like that. So once you know that one element is comparable to your references, then you can make the other elements just as good and as clear. I would like to go into this a lot, a bit more in detail, but we're running out of time. So I hope that was fairly useful. I find that technique, it might be a bit obvious to some of you, or you might think you A/B mixes already, but I think making sure in doing that in a bit more detail really makes the difference and makes your tracks stand up. So have a great New Year's Eve, and I shall speak to you next year. Cheers.